Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Spear. I'm Jeremy Cummings.
And I'm Sandeep Chandok. Thank you for joining us. The San Jose State Club hockey team took home the PCHA Championship over the weekend in Lake Tahoe. This is the team's 5th title, and the Spartans are now tied for the most championships in league history. After a 20-year drought, the 5-1 victory was big for SJSU.
Oh, it was great. It was a big relief just to end the season and personally my career on a high note and a win. And I think it just meant a lot to the team to be able to finish off with a trophy in their hands. Oh man, it was well worth it and well deserved. It felt like years of practice and all this hard work was finally paying off, and we got to just relish and live in the moment.
The San Jose State women's basketball team finished a successful week with a win over Air Force on Saturday. In addition, this recent game was a new milestone for the team's head coach. Head coach Jamie Craighead achieved her 100th career win as head coach. As a tradition, Coach Craighead was drenched in water by the women's basketball team inside the locker room. Craighead said she was proud of her achievement.
100 wins, it's a great accomplishment. It's about the players. It's been a lot of kids that have helped me get to this place, and it's their wins, so I'm just appreciative all of them have been a part of it. I think for me, I've been at a smaller school than this, and this to me is, a mid-major, high-major school, but there's never been a lot of success, so we have to grind it out all the time, and to average double-digit wins in my coaching career, and hopefully it continues to get better and it's more wins, but it means a lot. It's special. And this group, the group that I inherited, as well as the kids we've recruited here, they've bought into everything that we do, and they have a really special place in my heart.
This was the Spartans' 3rd win in a row while on the road. SJSU's record is now 7-7 in conference play and 10-16 overall. The Spartans will be back on the road Wednesday when they face Utah State before returning to the event center this Saturday.
San Jose State women's basketball player Des Ramos has been successful all season long. She is top 10 in the NCAA in scoring, recently topped 1,000 points for the Spartans, and was just named Mountain West Player of the Week for a 3rd time. I was fortunate to sit down with Ramos and talk about her accomplishments.
My first thoughts were that to get to my sweet spots and to snap my wrist, and then I felt pretty good when that shot went up.
I'm here with San Jose State point guard Des Ramos. Des, how you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
All right, so Des, the first thing I got to ask you, how did you get into basketball?
I started very young, around 6 years old, and I don't know, I think it's just once my parents got me into sports when you're little, gave me a basketball, and I instantly fell in love with it since.
Obviously you came from Weber State over to San Jose State.
Mm-hmm.
What was the decision behind that to come here?
Originally I was supposed to go to Santa Clara, and then I ended up coming here because it just didn't work out with them, and then yeah, but I struggled when I first got here because I ended up walking on my first year because there were no scholarships.
So with a lot of great players now, whether it's in college or professional, you hear these guys saying that they put in extra work after practice, before practice, first one in the gym, last one in the gym. Does that apply to you? And if so, how much time do you put in extra?
Put in a lot of time, not just on the court. Yeah, you have to get your extra shots up and get an extra time besides practices. But it's also watching film. I watch a lot of game film and see where I need to perfect my game, and just finding those moments, either getting in the gym and working on ball handling and shooting, or watching what I need to work on.
You eclipsed the milestone last week, hitting the 1,000-point mark. What does that feel like? What does that mean to you and also to the program here?
It means a lot. I was well aware that I was close to Laura's record with her having it in 56 games. And I did want to beat it before that. I love to compete. I want to be a part of history here in San Jose and leave my name here while I'm gone.
After Fresno State ended the Spartans' 4-game winning streak last week, San Jose State bounced back with a come-from-behind overtime win against Air Force 83-78. Upperclassmen such as guard Isaac Thornton and forward Brandon Mitchell stepped up big for the Spartans late in the game. Casey Geyer was there to cover the action.
Casey Geyer here after the Spartans' resounding win over Air Force. The Spartans were led by Brandon Clark, who had 22 points and 13 rebounds. The Spartans had a pretty rocky start to the game. They cut the game to 3, but then fell to 13 at the end of the half. The Spartans were able to get back in the game in the second half, led by strong defense and multiple threes by Cody Schwartz.
I mean, one of the adjustments we wanted to make in the second half was get cutters going to the basket, and I think you saw that. That's why BC had 6 assists and 2 turnovers, and gave them some fits there. And so I attribute our guys to making the adjustments and going out and doing it.
The Spartans were down by 10 with 8 minutes left. We were to cut the lead and tie the game up at 70 to send it into overtime.
We have goals that are just like, we're trying to make it to the postseason. So our seeding in conference, it's big for us, and every game counts.
Just like at the start of the game, the Spartans started off pretty slow, but Brandon Mitchell hit a clutch 3 to bring him within 1 in overtime. Key play in overtime was Isaac Thornton's steal, which led to a Brandon Clark dunk, and after that, free throws sealed the game for the Spartans. The next game for the Spartans will be Wednesday at home against Utah State. From the Sphere, I'm Casey Guy.
The San Jose State softball team headed to Las Vegas for the annual DeMarini Classic at UNLV. The rain caused all of Saturday and some of Sunday's games to be canceled due to the weather and unplayable surfaces. Despite all, the Spartans were able to play 4 games, and Kaylin Linford, their ace player, dominated on the field. The biggest surprise of the weekend did not come from Linford, however. The Spartans may have found their next power arm to join her. Senior pitcher Colette Riggs has filled that role. The righty is sporting a 2.25 earned run average over 16 innings this season and holding opponents' batters to a .230 clip.
I'm working on my curve and my rise. I added a drop ball this season, and I'm also working on my changeup because that's usually my weaker point. It helps a lot more to have a pitching coach because we don't usually have someone with us all the time. Last year we'd be at practice for like 3 hours without anyone talking to us. So it's really nice to have someone that's with you constantly and working with you. We're trying just to make them hit it, get out, because our defense is really good this year. So if we make them make plays, we'll be great.
SJSU came into the weekend 3-3 and came out of it 5-5. Head coach Pete Turner said last week he would be happy if the team comes out of non-conference play around the 500 mark because of the difficulty of opponents.
And that's all we have for this show. Make sure to also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Catch us next week, and don't forget to watch the show with other sports lovers. Thanks again.